Honorable Dr. Mustapha Abdul-Hamid, who is the Minister for Inner Cities and Zongo Development. He is an Islamic scholar and a senior lecturer who, until his appointment as minister in 2017, taught in the Department of Religion and Human Values at the University of Cape Coast. Dr. Abdul-Hamid also worked in various capacities in the media, advertising, and marketing, where he has been an editor of the highest journal and Choice FM. He was the strategy planning manager for Media Magic and Research System and client service manager at the Ghana Advertising and Marketing. He is an astute politician who served as the national youth leader of the New Patriotic Party from 2012 to 2005. Honorable Dr. Mustapha, we have the honor to invite you to give us a statement.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, praise be to Allah, Lord of the worlds, Master of the Day of Judgment. You alone we worship, you alone we ask for help. Guide us onto the straight path, the path of those on whom you have bestowed your favor, not of those who go astray, nor of those who earn your anger. I greet you all in the greetings of Islam, saying, Assalamu alaikum. Maulvi Muhammad bin Sali, the National Chief Imam, Your Eminence Sheikh Osman Nuhu Sharubutu, Your Excellency Sahnun Mukhtar, and as they say in Ghana, all other protocols are duly observed. I am very grateful for the opportunity to say a few words in solidarity with the Ahmadiyya movement worldwide and of course the Ahmadiyya movement in Ghana on the occasion of this International Peace Conference. I am ever grateful to the Ahmadiyya movement for these invitations. In this year, I think this was in about April, May or June, at the instance of Maulvi Muhammad bin Sali, I was in the UK for the International Peace Conference as well. So today, what I shall say in brief is that as believers, and I'm sure the majority of us here, or indeed everybody here, is either Muslim or Christian or a traditional believer. Whatever our belief systems are, there is a famous Sufi scholar called Cheno Boka. The rainbow owes its beauty to the variety of its shades and colors. In the same voices of various believers that rise up from all parts of the earth as a symphony of praises addressing God, unquote. Ibn Arabi also says that the light is one, but the lamps are many. In my opinion, that is a very succinct explanation of the diversity of human belief. Because the Almighty Allah says in the Quran that if He wished, He would have made all mankind one community. Which means that differences of humanity is an inherent part. The chairman of the National Peace Council, who was asking, why is it that religion is often used for violent purposes? My answer is because religion is ambivalent. It is a double-edged sword. Identity is ambivalent. Identity can be a sense, or if you want, a rallying point for love, for affection, and for consideration. At the same time, identity can be a subject of division war, chaos, and confusion. There's a scholar called Amartya Sen who explains it in the context of the Rwandan genocide and says that if we say that we are Rwandans, then there is love, there is compassion. But immediately we begin to say, I am Tutsi and you are Hutu. It can engender a sense of exclusion that immediately says, because I am Tutsi, I hate Hutus. Or, because I am Hutu, I should hate Tutsis. So there are various identities and divisions that we can appropriate either for good or for evil. Right now, we are all gathered in this room in the name of our humanity. Nobody sees on our faces what religious persuasion or what ethnic group that we belong to. But if we choose right here, we can call up those differences and segregate this room on the basis of those identities. And that immediately can, as the street boy will say, scatter this congregation. And so, as believers, I want us to reflect that when we are Christians and we say to one another, Shalom, and we are Muslims and we say to one another every day, Assalamu alaikum, what does it mean? In the Quran, there are two beautiful stories of a prophet called Moses or Musa and another gentleman that the Muslims call Karun, that the Old Testament calls Korah. The Quran says when Korah was evil and Moses sought to bring him to order and he refused and he turned to God, God said to Moses, I have empowered you, do as you please. And Moses caused the earth to swallow Korah. As the earth swallowed Korah or Karun, he began to call out to Moses for forgiveness. Moses didn't forgive him, allowed the earth to swallow him and all his riches. Now Moses turns to God for vindication. Rather, God chastises Moses and says, Korah called to you 70 times for forgiveness. You failed to forgive him. If he had called me, Allah, once, I would have forgiven him. Once. So, what this tells us is that as humans, forgiveness is mandatory. The Christians say, forgive us as our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. When Moses returned from the mountains, according to the Quran and the Bible, after 40 days of absence, and found the Israelites worshipping the calf, he chastised his brother Aaron, Harun, and said, why do you allow them to worship the calf? And he said, if I had forbidden them from worshipping the calf, I would have divided the ummah, because some would have listened to me and some would have refused. So I allowed them to worship the calf in unity. So we maintain the unity of the ummah. Now tell them it is forbidden. They will leave it in unity. Ladies and gentlemen, Maulvi bin Sali, you see I mentioned Maulvi Wahab, may his soul rest in peace. This shows that, inshallah, he's in Al-Jannah, because we are talking peace, and his name comes up. I cannot go and sit down without saying something in my capacity as a minister of state, responsible for inner cities and Zongo development. And we know that inner cities are the places of social exclusion, of marginalization, of backwardness, and all of those things. As the Reverend said, peace is not merely the absence of war. Socio-economic prosperity is an indicator of peace. And therefore, we want to give our commitment to you as a government that we shall do everything in our part to bring about the social and economic transformation that is necessary for bringing about total peace and transformation of our country. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.